Are you spending hours doing product research and sourcing, but still struggling to find profitable wholesale suppliers? Or maybe you landed your first wholesale account, but after going through the price sheet, you still can't find any profitable items to buy, and you're left wondering how any of Amazon's other sellers are making money. In this video, I'm going to simplify that process for you and let you in on a secret that the gurus are not telling you about. You only need one method to find profitable suppliers. This is the exact sourcing method that I teach my students to go from 0 to their first 10K on Amazon. Like my student Johan, who went from 0 to 80K in sales per month in just 7 months. Not only has this method helped dozens of my other students, it's also the exact method that I use inside my own business, allowing me to sell over $7 million on Amazon so far this year. So without further ado, let's dive into it. First things first, I'm not going to withhold information. The sourcing method that I'm going to cover in this video is storefront stalking, but it's important to understand how we arrive at these storefronts. So first, we're going to start off on Keepa Product Finder, and let's just go through the filters really quick together just so that we can understand how we get to our storefront stalking. First off, we're going to have our 90-day average sales rank at a maximum of 100,000. Next up, we're going to have our buy box price on a 30-day average of at least $18. We're going to have Amazon out of stock. We're going to have a new third-party FBA, at least $20. Next up, scroll all the way down to the root category and put is none of, and then check things like clothing, shoes and jewelry, Alexa skills, Amazon autos, Audible, electronics, and movies and TV. We're not going to be selling products in any of these categories, either because we can't or because of a high return rate. Next up, under offer counts, you're going to want to put at least 2 offers in the last 30 days on average. What this does is it eliminates private label products and also products with an exclusive relationship with another seller. Next, find what says bought in the past month, and you're going to want to set this at a minimum of 100 units, but at a maximum of 5,000. What that does is it gets products that are not selling at all and totally eliminates them, but it also filters out your top end so that you're not sourcing for products by major Procter & Gamble companies. Remember, we want to be able to get in touch with a decision maker or an owner on these companies, and chances are if the product is selling over 5,000 units a month, we're not going to be able to do that. And lastly, and in my opinion, the most important feature on Keepa Product Finder is whether or not the listing has A+ content. If the listing doesn't have A+ content, it kind of gives us insight into whether the brand has control over their products on Amazon or not. So we don't want products with good representation on Amazon because it allows us to step in and help the brand. And we do that by filtering out the A+ content. Next, just hit Find Products. And then once you do that, skip all the way to the back of the catalog. So at the bottom, you can see it says page 1 to 100. We're going to skip all the way to the back. And now from here, we're going to slowly start working our way backwards to page 99, 98, etc., until we find products that fill our criterias. Underrepresentation on Amazon, a good selling price, and good volume. So here's a product that I found using Keepa Product Finder. And while this product is great, it actually hits on all of our criteria. It's got a decent selling price, it's got good volume, and it's also extremely underrepresented on Amazon with bad images, no brand store, etc. Now, you could find this one product and that's great, but what you could do that's even better is actually go into the storefronts of the other sellers that are on the listing to find even more products and go down the rabbit hole. So if I scroll down to where the buy box is, which is here on the right, I can actually see where it says new 13 from $47.99. So that means there's 13 other sellers that are selling the product. If I click on that, I can see the other storefronts that are selling the product. And here's the logic. If a storefront is selling a product that meets my criteria already, chances are they're selling other products that meet my criteria as well. So we could dive into their storefronts and extract their products and copy what's already working to use in our business. So let's try clicking on this first storefront here, and let's open it up in a new tab. And then if I click on visit the storefront, I can actually see all of the products that are in their catalog. So the first thing that I want to look for is I want to avoid any big name brands like this. Something like Valvoline, we're never going to be able to contact them directly. Maybe we can call them and get a price list from a distributor, but we're not going to be able to develop that brand direct partnership that we teach. So if I scroll down, I can see our product here. And I can also see another product which looks like maybe it fits my criteria, actually these 2 products, but I'm going to actually look at this second product since the price is a little bit higher. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. And you can see I can go down the rabbit hole here where I can actually go and click on the other sellers that are selling this product, because there's another 24 of them, and then click into their stores. But I'm going to look at this product, which again, it looks like it meets our criteria. It's got a decent selling price, it's got good volume, and it's got an underrepresentation on Amazon. I can see that these products are not really being represented well, and so it gives me ammunition for when I call the brand. So again, another winning product that you can add to your sourcing spreadsheet just from going through another seller's storefront.
Also, want to mention, guys, if you're loving this content and you want personalized one-on-one mentorship from myself and my business partner, Brad, check out the first link in the description below. Inside our community, you'll have access to my brand partner blueprint, which is a full vault of the exact templates, scripts, and proposals that I use to close brands in my 8-figure business. You'll also be plugged in with a community of other Amazon sellers crushing the game, which is especially important in the early stages of starting your business from scratch or transitioning from arbitrage to wholesale. We work with a limited number of clients to ensure that they get the one-on-one attention that they need. It's by application only, so if you're interested, check out the link in the description to see if you qualify. Now let's get back to the video.
Let's keep scrolling here on the same store, and I don't love this product because the $8.46 sell price, but I do like this one a little bit better below. And let's open that one up in a new tab again and check out the listing. And again, it is the same exact thing. We've got an underrepresentation. In fact, even worse with this product, it only has one image. We have a decent velocity at 600 plus bought in the last month. We also have a $19.70 sell price, so not bad at all. And then we could also see that there's another 13 sellers on this listing if we wanted to dive into their storefronts as well. If we keep on scrolling here, we can go even deeper into the seller storefront, and I'm not seeing anything that I am really in love with. Maybe this product right here looks a little bit artificial, which is something that you have to keep an eye out for. Anything that looks a little artificial, it almost looks like a private label or maybe a Chinese product that you want to stay away from. But if we keep going, again, a big brand here, I go into page 2, and if I keep scrolling, I'm actually going to click on this product because I like obscure products. We find things in our business that are a little obscure, and a lot of times they are underrepresented on Amazon. So if I click on this, I can see that, again, the listing is a little bit underrepresented. I don't love the volume. I wish it was a little bit higher for the sell price. That's always something we're looking for, is a combination of sales velocity with price. But all in all, it's not a terrible product. I actually think that it would be worth reaching out to the brand, especially because it's very obscure. Like, I don't really know what this is. You know, I know what the product is. It is a consumable. It is like a jam or a jelly or something, but it is not something that I am like aware of on my day-to-day, right? So those are products that a lot of the times we find that we have success with just because they're more obscure. There's a lot of riches in the niches, as they say. If we jump back to the storefront, I can actually see the very next product is something that catches my eye as well. So if we click on that, open that in a new tab, and we could see that, once again, the product is super, super underrepresented. There's a ton of value that we could add here. It actually is something that maybe it's out of compliance because the product is in the packaging and the image. So could be another value add to bring up to the brand if that is the case. Also, really nothing going on with the title, anything like that. It has a decent sell price and decent volume. So again, something worth reaching out. In addition, there's another 10 storefronts on this listing that we can continue to go down the rabbit hole. At this point, you guys could see exactly how this process never ends, and it is actually the method that we have used to grow and scale our Amazon business to 7 and on its way to 8 figures since 2019. So now that we've already found 5 products, there's something that I want to point out. When you're doing storefront stalking, you want to find products that are similar to what you want, like I said, but you also want to source from storefronts that are more reputable. So for example, I wouldn't be sourcing from this second storefront here because it only has 1 rating, even though it's 5 stars. I want to go into a little bit bigger storefronts with larger catalogs and also brands that a larger storefront might have. That doesn't mean that they're bigger brands. It just means that they've put in the work to get these accounts, because chances are if a brand new seller gets a product in their inventory really fast, it's probably not profitable. As you do this process more and more, you will get more and more storefronts that you need to add to your list. So this is exactly what we do, is we put them into a spreadsheet with both the storefront name and the storefront link. That way, us or a virtual assistant can go in and start to source these storefronts. You will come across tons of storefronts on Amazon, even when you're not sourcing. So we always like to click into the storefronts, have a brief look at the products to see if they fit our criteria, and then add them to our master spreadsheet to go through later. Now let's jump into one of the other storefronts off of one of the products that we found from the original storefront from Keepa Product Finder. And then let's bring it full circle where I'm going to actually show you how to bring the storefront and put it back into Keepa Product Finder so that KPF will actually do the storefront stalking for you. So if I click here down on the other sellers of this listing, I'm going to just click on the first one and let's see what kind of products that this brings us. So again, click on the storefront. So now on this new storefront, I can actually see that the first product that looks like I'm not in love with the sales price, but it looks like they have a couple different products. So I'm just going to open that one up. And again, this is very underrepresented and it could make for a good product for maybe a beginner to try to reach out. 200 plus bought in the last month, 1741, not my favorite, but we're going to keep it open just as an option. If I go back to the storefront, this product, again, it has a low selling price, but it is a light product. So we're taking into account all these different factors when we're looking for products on Amazon. And this is something that I might look into again because it's very, very underrepresented. You know, it is a very, very light product. So you might actually be making money at that price. And I think it's an option. Again, not my favorite product in the world, but it could be a profitable product that you could add to your inventory at that sales volume. And if I scroll down right below it, we have another product, which it looks like has a little bit of a higher selling price. And again, is underrepresented and has a good volume. So at the $19 per unit mark at the 1,000 plus bought in the last month, this is something that, again, I start to get a little more interested in because the sales volume is making up for that lower price. So it doesn't look like they have too much going on Amazon. They don't have a brand store. Images aren't great. So again, a product that I would consider reaching out to the brand. And if I keep scrolling on the storefront page, I want to avoid things with lower selling prices. I actually want to look at something like this, which has a little bit of a higher selling price at $28.75. So if I click on that, we're still moving 800 plus units bought in the last month. And a lot of the times you'll know this if you get products into your inventory on a consistent basis. Amazon a lot of times is under what you're actually going to sell. If you had this product in your inventory exclusively with 100% of the buy box, you'd probably be selling more than 800 units a month. And this product, again, is very underrepresented on Amazon. So it might be something to look into. This product is part of the transparency program. So you would definitely have to get a brand authorization directly, but it would be something that it might be worth reaching out because although the brand has some control over their products on Amazon, they don't have the best representation. So again, you could come in to provide value here. And to round it all out, our 10th product that we're going to find is this spa care. And we could see the product, again, is very underrepresented, which we find a lot of the times with these industry specific type products because they're really focused on their brick and mortars and they're not so much focused on presenting their products correctly on Amazon. And so we could see at 500 plus bought in the last month, again, it's probably a pretty seasonal product because of the nature of it. And we also have a $30 sell price. So again, all those factors combined, it makes for a winning and a potentially profitable product once we reach out to the supplier. And as promised, to bring this full circle, we're going to actually click on our original product here and go into the storefront. Once we have the storefront open, we can actually see up in the top URL, there is a seller ID. So in this case, it starts with ALR. So we're going to actually just copy that and throw that right into Keepa Product Finder, and it's going to pull up all of the products in the seller storefront. So if I actually copy this and I go to Keepa Product Finder and go under seller ID, and I hit paste and I show products, it's actually going to bring up the products that are in the seller's storefront right here. So we're actually able to do this storefront stalking process, but not have to go through the manual work of doing the actual storefront stalking. Keepa outlines it perfectly for us to look at, where we can see all of the different metrics like the bought in the past month, the 90-day sale rank, etc., etc. So it makes it a little bit easier. And again, this is a completely endless rabbit hole, and it is what we have built our business on since 2019. The truth is that if you aren't using storefront stalking to find profitable suppliers, you are leaving money on the table. Storefront stalking allows you to model your business after others that are already running successful Amazon storefronts. So if you're interested in taking your business to the next level, feel free to check out the link in the description below. And now that you know the steps to find these profitable wholesale suppliers, you also need to understand how to approach them correctly. So watch this video next, where I'll teach you exactly how to contact wholesale suppliers step by step.